On Larry King Now, comedian and radio host Rickey Smiley.
I got booed at Showtime at the Apollo.
Booed?
When it came on television, they took an audience from Eddie Griffin or somebody, and when I said thank you, good night, I got this standing ovation. My phone was ringing because there was no cell phones at the time. They're like, hey man, you blew up the Apollo. Congratulations. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, they don't know. I got booed. I do this old lady character, Bernice Jenkins, this old black lady I would call like cemeteries, and I told them that I took a nap in one of the caskets. I work at the funeral home and I think I'm buried out here somewhere. So I had the lady walking around on the cell phone trying to find the fresh grave.
Plus,
we lived in the projects and we didn't have a chimney, so I'm watching Santa Claus come to town, Santa Claus come down the chimney. So I asked my mom, well, how did Santa Claus get in our house? We live in the project. She said that he would go down to the housing authority and get the master key to all the apartments.
all next on Larry King Now. Welcome to Larry King Now, and today we welcome Rickey Smiley, a stand-up comedian, host, actor, and radio personality. He's the host of the nationally syndicated radio show, The Rickey Smiley Morning Show, where he's known for his prank calls. He's also the star of Rickey Smiley for Real, a reality show about his life as he attempts to navigate his professional demands, single fatherhood, and his love life. The 5th season is currently airing on TV One. Thank you for coming.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Sorry for the passing of your grandfather.
Oh, I appreciate that.
He was an important part of your life, right?
He absolutely was. My father passed away when I was 6, and my grandfather took me in along with my mother. And but my grandmother and my grandfather and my grandmother, they raised me, and we've been together 50 years.
Was he part of your reality show?
Absolutely, a big part of the reality show. People watch the show partly because of him.
Why?
He was funny. Yeah, he was funny. He had a lot of wisdom. He was quick.
Where did they shoot that, at your house?
At the house, sometime at the studio in Atlanta, and in between.
With the kids?
With the kids.
But your grandfather's gone, so.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's definitely going to be missed, but every single scene with him was a lot of fun.
Let's take a look at Rickey Smiley in the new season of his show, Rickey Smiley for Real.
So this is the orange juice maker. Okay, so I didn't know it was this big, so now my kitchen look like Willy Wonka and the damn chocolate factory. The big trick is cleaning it up. So you put your glass in there and...
Oh, you put it in there whole. So I could put apples in there, grapes.
No. You see what color it is? It's orange.
Okay, orange juice.
So, and it brings it down and it cuts it in half right here. And then it gets squoze, and there's your juice.
Oh, that's cool.
See there? That's a lot.
So there's like no pulp in it, or there is pulp?
No pulp.
And there you go.
That Trey gets it though.
Maybe I should open up a juice company called Simply Smiley all the time.
Okay, how do you juggle being a single father with all your career? How do you do all this?
Well, you have to have a little bit of help. So I have a friend come over and help out when I'm out of town.
How many kids do you have?
I have 4. I've raised about 10 nieces and nephews, whatever. But I have 4. I have 2 sons and 2 daughters.
And you're a single father.
Single dad.
And they're all with you.
Yes, I had custody of all except for one, except for my youngest daughter. So
how do you bounce all those balls?
Well, you do it mostly in the summer. Everybody kind of work hard during the fall and in the winter. And so when the summertime come around, that's when we all get together and have a lot of fun. I built the studio in my home, so some days I could do the morning show from home, the old-fashioned ISDN line.
The kids, they're in Alabama and you work in Atlanta, right?
Yes, sir. So I go to Atlanta 3 or 4 days out of the week, and which is only 2 hours from Birmingham. So I can go back and forth, whatever. So if I get a note from my son's teacher, I could just shoot home.
You also show your life at the radio station. How long have you been doing the radio show?
I've been doing my own morning show for 13 years. Started in Dallas, Texas. And before that, I was on the Doug Banks morning show, Doug Banks, who passed away. And I've been on Tom Joyner's Steve Harvey morning show. And I started my radio career on the Buck Wild morning show, the small station in Birmingham, Alabama.
Did you always want to be on radio?
Well, you know, I used to listen to Mark and Brian. Mark and Brian is from Birmingham. So I grew up listening to Mark and Brian, and I thought they were funny on the radio. And they came out to L.A., and they just blew up. But they started off in Birmingham, Alabama. So I was like, man, you know, I would like to do prank phone calls. Because that was the first prank phone calls I heard was Mark and Brian.
What kind of prank calls do you do?
I do this old lady character, Bernice Jenkins, this old black lady I would call like cemeteries and funeral homes and scream on the phone and ask for a list of who's passed away. And they would tell me the name. And I would start screaming and the person on the phone trying to calm the lady down. So then I called the cemetery and I told them that I took a nap in one of the caskets. I work at the funeral home and I think I'm buried out here somewhere. So I had the lady walking around the cell phone trying to find the fresh grave to try to, you know, get me. It's funny, hilarious prank phone call.
There's nothing like radio.
Right, nothing like it.
It's still, I know there's podcasts and
Right.
yes, but there's nothing.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle. You have to go to bed at night. So some nights I'm in bed 7:30, 8 o'clock, lights out.
Yeah, especially mornings, yeah.
Absolutely.
You recently got an NAB Marconi Award for your career. I got the second one. Paul Harvey got the first.
Wow.
You ought to be very honored. That's to the #1 radio personality in America.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Where was it held?
I think that award show was in, San Antonio, Texas. And
It's a big honor.
it is. I found out, I heard it's like the Oscars of radio.
Yeah, it is.
So to have a Marconi Award was a big deal. And
You should be proud. How many stations are you on?
about 65. Started out in Dallas, Texas, on a small Radio 1 station. And Mr. Perry put us on his stations up in Oklahoma. And we got on some Cox stations and some Cumulus stations and some,
Pretty good.
So, yeah. So
You play
everybody liked the
music,
brand.
play music or just talk to people?
Yes, so it's hip-hop music. Hip-hop music, a funny hip-hop morning shows. So we play all of the hip-hop artists and we do the news, the TV.
Have you got any trouble with prank calls?
No, sir, we have to get a release. We used to get in trouble.
When we come back, Rickey Smiley on his stand-up comedy roots and what's changed in the 28 years he's been doing it. Rickey Smiley for Real is currently airing Tuesdays on TV One, and you can find his book, Stand by Your Truth and Then Run for Your Life. It's available now wherever books are sold. Stay with us. We're back with Rickey Smiley. What a talent, and he's well on his way to even bigger things. I mean, you got the TV, you got the radio, everything's going for you.
Yes, sir.
You're on a crest,
Yes,
right?
sir.
You're doing good. Tell me about your stand-up.
My stand-up is really animated. It's funny. It's all over the place. It's kind of like ADHD stand-up comedy. And I'll switch subjects in about 60 seconds. I'll go from here to here to here to here. I'm currently on tour with Martin Lawrence, the Martin Lawrence Lit Tour. So that's a lot of fun with Michael Blackson, D. Ray Davis, Bruce.
What does everybody do, like 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, 20 minutes. Martin Lawrence is the host. I haven't done a show like that since the Kings of Comedy, so I'm on that tour, and I'm also on tour with Mike Epps, which is a lot of fun. So I like doing the big tours, but I also love the comedy clubs.
Do you write all your own material?
I don't write anymore. I just go on stage and go for it. You know, I've been
What do you
doing
mean? You don't write any material?
Nah. You know, once you've been doing it 30 years and you might hit something on stage that's really, really funny, you go ahead and take it to the next city. And sometimes it's a conversation. It's not writing jokes anymore. It's not write it down and remember it. You might have some talking points. You might look over on the cue card and say, if you have 25 minutes, I have 7 subjects. Okay, I got that. Okay. So when I just go on stage and the audience is great, I don't get past the first 3. So
I do a lot of speaking, always try to do comedy. There's nothing like
Nothing.
standing on a stage
right.
and making people laugh, right?
Absolutely.
It's a high. It's better for you than the audience.
It is. Instant reaction, because you can't hear, on radio, you can't hear people laughing in their car. But on
That's
stage,
right.
you get it instantly.
Have you ever bombed?
Yeah, I got booed at Showtime at the Apollo.
Booed?
Yes, sir.
Booed?
So,
What did you say?
Well, Mark Curry was the host at the time, and the fact that I was from Birmingham, Alabama. So he said, from Birmingham, Alabama, when I walked on stage, they were already booing. So Mark Curry looked at me, he said, play to the camera. He said, do your material. He said, it's gonna air. They're gonna edit it out. I was like, really? I didn't believe him, so I did this whole act on stage while they were booing. So then when it came on television, they took an audience from Eddie Griffin or somebody, and when I said thank you, good night, I got this standing ovation. My phone was ringing because there was no cell phones at the time. They're like, hey man, you blew up the Apollo. Congratulations. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, they don't know. I got booed.
And they booed just because you were from Birmingham.
When he said Birmingham, Alabama, that was horrible.
Has your act changed a lot over the years?
Oh yeah. It's a conversation when you go on stage. 30 years of stand-up comedy. I started November the 13th, 89. So 30 years of stand-up, you really don't have to. You might make some adjustments and make some notes on some new stuff you want to talk about, and you just go on stage and just have a good time.
You started on BET, right?
Yes, sir. I was the host of BET's Comic View 2000 and 2004, and I had my own show on BET called The Way We Do It.
It's a great network.
Oh, absolutely. They gave me my first shot in HBO's Def Comedy Jam, HBO's Snaps.
You work a lot with kids?
Yes, sir.
Doing what?
We try to get underprivileged kids and at-risk kids and, try to do things with them. We work on etiquette and we try to get kids scholarships. We give away toys.
Tell me about this young girl named Ramoni who needs a kidney. What happened?
Yeah, she was just recently on my morning show. This young lady, she really needs a kidney. She was on...
How old?
She's 16 years old. She was on dialysis. She had to dialyze every day for 15 hours every night. So she get out of school. She go to school. She's in high school. She got out of school at 3 o'clock. So at 6 o'clock, she's on the machine. And the nurse, her mother's a nurse, take her off the machine and she go to school the next day. Only to come home to be on dialysis again. 15 hours. The average person get dialysis
An hour.
3 hours every other day.
Yeah.
She get it 15 hours a day.
That's how bad it is.
Yes, sir. That was the only time I had to pray on the show. I literally stopped, broke format, and just went into a prayer over the radio. I had to pray for her right then because...
16 years old?
Yes, sir.
She should be able to get one. If you could help too. Ramoni needs a kidney.
Yes, sir.
Next, Rickey Smiley's in the hot seat. A round of If You Only Knew. This should be a good one. Stay right there. We're back with very talented Rickey Smiley. We are going to play a game of If You Only Knew.
Okay.
First time you realized you were famous.
Oh, wow. Went to the mall and got mobbed. Yeah, I was on BET around 2000. After my character, Lil Daryl, 97. Yeah, I was like...
Favorite stand-up comedian?
Oh, Mark Curry. Mark Curry make me cry.
Someone from history you would like to take to lunch?
Dr. Martin Luther King. Yeah, I would love to sit down and have... I know some of Dr. King's personal friends. I know Andrew Young and I know Zenona Clayton. So I know a lot about Dr.
How's Andrew doing?
He's doing great. We call him Uncle Andy.
He's a good man.
He is.
Place we find you on a day off?
Bahi Mar, Fort Lauderdale, on my boat. I'm a boater.
You're a boater too?
Bona fide boater. I drive to Bimini, Bahamas every other weekend in the summer. And I love boating and swimming every day.
Great town, Fort Lauderdale.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Most starstruck you've ever been?
Oh, wow. When I went to the White House. I went to the White House, but I had met President Obama before, but him in the White House was a whole, another kind of...
What was the occasion?
It was a Christmas party, and I went for some meetings there. So I was in the Roosevelt room, so that was fun.
Someone you wish you could switch places with for a day?
Steve Harvey. I just need one of those jobs. And
one of his jobs and you retire.
I just need to host Family Feud one time, and I could take that one check and put it up and retire.
How does he do all those things?
Right. Steve Harvey work at 7-Eleven. He hosts Family Feud. He does everything.
Stranded on a desert island, what 3 things do you bring with you?
I bring my iPod because I'm a big classic rock fan, because I have to have my Elton John and my Fleetwood Mac, Steely Dan, and Jerry Rafferty or whatever. Because I play hip hop every morning, so I have to have my iPod, Mountain Dew, and Reese's Cups, miniatures, frozen.
Frozen, yeah, they're good.
Frozen.
Milky Way is good frozen.
Absolutely.
Childhood celebrity crush.
Oh, Kim Fields. And she turned out to be my acting coach.
Really?
How odd is that? So I'm in there nervous, like, I'm here.
Have you done movies?
So I have. I was in Friday After Next with Ice Cube, Mike Epps, the Santa Claus that was stealing the gifts. I was in David Talbert's First Sunday. And I've been in some low-budget films that probably didn't make airways.
Secret talent.
I play the piano. So I'm a musician. I play the piano. I fly.
Speed boats to you pilot?
I pilot. I fly.
What kind of aircraft?
Twin-engine Cessna. King Air 100. I can fly one of those easily.
It's a nice plane.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that, captain, I could, boating and piano musician.
Where do you fly the King Air to?
Sometimes I have to get one because I can't get a flight. So, we'll rent it, but I have to fly with a pilot because I haven't gotten enough hours to get my license, but he would let me fly the plane. And I would fly it out, get it off the ground, and sit it down like it's nothing.
You going to get your license?
When I retire, when I slow down, I'm definitely going to get my license.
Guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure. What is my guilty? Just that boating thing. I'm always on the water. I have to be on the water.
Is there something you long believed to be true and then realized wasn't?
Santa Claus. Yeah, because it threw me off because as a kid, we lived in the projects and we didn't have a chimney. So I'm watching Santa Claus come to town, Santa Claus come down the chimney. So I asked my mom, well, how does Santa Claus get in our house? We live in the projects. She said that he would go down to the housing authority and get the master key to all the apartments in the
And you bought it. Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. Rickey Smiley in 10 years.
Rickey Smiley in 10 years, sitting on a beach somewhere.
Retire?
In 10 years, I'm gonna slow it down a lot. I'm still gonna do stand-up. I probably would just perform at an improv comedy club every other weekend or whatever.
Oh, you're putting away the money then.
Oh, yes, sir, I'm trying after taxes, of course, but
Wow.
yeah.
After the break, Rickey Smiley answers all of your social media questions. You can currently see him on his reality show, Rickey Smiley For Real, airs Tuesdays on TV One, and don't click away. We're back with Rickey Smiley. We have some social media questions.
Okay.
Matt XM on Facebook. When can we expect to see a new prank phone call featuring Bernice Jenkins of First Baptist Church?
One day, I'm gonna get the prank phone call. See, I have to make the time. A lot of preparation. Sometimes you have to get involved with the families to help set up the prank phone calls. You just can't call people no more because it's harder to do because we play prank phone calls every day, so people are, you have to catch them.
To it.
Absolutely. Yes.
So what's this First Baptist Church?
It's just a character, Bernice Jenkins, and she goes to First Baptist Church.
And she calls people.
And she calls people, yeah.
Patty Roulette on the Larry King Now blog. Are you planning on going on a stand-up comedy tour anytime soon?
Yes, I'm on tour now with Mike Epps, Martin Lawrence. I tour all over the country almost every other weekend, in the wintertime, every weekend.
You are busy.
Absolutely.
Mark Ray on the Larry King Now blog. I love your show. Do you plan on continuing after this season?
After this season, with the Rickey Smiley For Real, if that's what he's talking about, or Dish Nation, yes, I make my appearances on Dish Nation, but Rickey Smiley For Real, if they give us another season, it would be season 6 of Rickey Smiley For Real on TV One.
Jenny Cohen on Facebook. Do you have a favorite prank call story you can share with us?
Yeah, I did a I did a prank phone call one time, and I decided to do it from the car. Had somebody at the studio recording it, and I told the lady I was outside in the car. I had a wig on, and the lady, she came out there, and she was ready to fight.
Ready to fight? Why?
The character, because it was an argument about, it was about the setup. And I said, hey, it's a prank phone call, don't shoot. So she put a shotgun up.
She would have killed you.
Probably.
You lead a dangerous life.
Absolutely.
Rumi Sanders on the Larry King Now blog. Would you ever consider going back to BET, where you got your start?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm always looking for opportunities to work. If somebody put together a proper, a good show or whatever. I like to cook, so my dream is to have a cooking show because I can really cook. I'm one of the best cooks in the country. So
what do you specialize in?
Soul food, Southern cuisine, or whatever. I can really cook. I had a cooking segment on TV one after the Rickey Smiley for Real episodes, and I do some stuff on Fox 5 in Atlanta, some cooking segments.
Do collard greens?
I make the best collard greens ever. I'll make you some next time I come.
You're a guest.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Big thanks to my guest, Rickey Smiley. Make sure to see him and his family in the reality series Rickey Smiley for Real, airing on TV One. You can also hear him on his syndicated radio show, The Rickey Smiley Morning Show. And as always, you can find me on Twitter at King's Things, and I'll see you next time.